Good morning, all. Welcome to the course Control Systems. Okay, so we are discussing the problems on signal flow graphs using the Mason-Gain formula. Okay, and we are seeing the second variety of problems. So that is constructing the signal flow graph from a given system equations, and then we are reducing it using the Mason-Gain formula. Okay, so this is one of the problem I told you, and by trial and error, so you have to finally fit the signal flow graph. Okay, and we have discussed this already. So how we got this? Okay, so u of t is your input and x of t is output, and intermediate variables x2 dash, x2, x1 dash, x1 are there. Okay, so now this is our signal flow graph. Okay, so now you have to identify how many number of forward paths, how many loops are there, how many two non-touching loops are there. So all these things you have to observe now. Okay, so how many paths are there here? So you can answer out. How many paths? Forgot, I think, right? Almost many days gap I give. So forward path from the input to the output. How much?
3.
3, correct. Okay. So u of t is your input and your x of t is output. From u of t to x of t, how many path you can go? So one is you have straight away path, right? B1 1 by s 1, 1 by s 1. So this is your straight path. Okay. Then another one is the upper one. So u of t to the path B2, it will meet here. Again, this will take this path. Okay, its product you have to write it as the path gain. Okay, and then finally you have the third path, which is going directly from u of t to x of t with beta 3. Okay, so these are the three paths you have to write down. So then what are the loops? Okay, how many loops you can identify here?
2.
Yes. So one is this loop. Okay. So it is minus a1 by into 1 by s. So it will come one loop, and another loop you will get it from here. So x2 of t at this point it will start. So it will go in this path and then come through a2 and it will meet over here. Okay. So these are the two paths you can visible. So then how many two non-touching loops here? So since here,
2 non-touch.
no. Okay. So this is the forward path, this is the forward path, and this is the forward path. And these two loops are touching at these points. That's why there is no two non-touching loops. So that's why determinant, delta determinant is very simple. 1 minus L1 minus L2. Okay. So that is the value of delta. So then what about delta 1, delta 2, delta 3? Okay. So here you should be careful which one you have taken L1, which one. So this is our L1. Okay. So as I mentioned, this is L1 and this is L2. And which are the forward paths we have taken? So this is one forward path. Okay. I call it as P1 and this is the P2. Okay. So I'm explaining everything once. Later I can just write down and put it in the formula. And this is my path 3. So for path 1, so both the loop 1 and loop 2 are touching. Okay. So that's why delta 1 value is 1. For path P2, again both loops are touching at this point and this point. That's why again delta 2 value is also equal to 1. But what about beta 3 here? So this path P3. So this P3 path is not touching to both loop 1 and loop 2. So that's why you can consider delta 3 value as 1 minus L1 minus L2. Okay. Or in group, if we group it, 1 minus group of L1 plus L2. Okay. So path 3 is not touching both the loops. Okay. So this only we'll write down and we'll put it in the formula for 3 forward paths. The forward paths are, so just I'm writing whatever I shown you, just I'm multiplying there. So B1 into 1 by S into 1, 1 by S into 1, it will be finally beta 1 by S square is the value. Beta 2 is again, so you have one upper one and then 1 by S was there. So it is beta 2 by S. And finally you had straight path, which is only beta 3. Okay. Then individual loops are, one is minus A1 by S you had, and another is minus A2, and there are two 1 by S paths. That's why minus A2 by S square. These are the two loops. Okay. It's product loop gains we have to write down. So now remember these values and just we'll substitute in the formula. So then there are no combinations of non-touching loops. So that's why determinant value you can calculate now. So 1 minus L1 plus L2. So minus sign is there for both L1 and L2. That's why it will come plus here 1 plus A1 by S plus A2 by S square. So this is your determinant. Okay, and delta value. Next, as I mentioned, for path P1, all loops are touching there. Hence, delta 1 value is 1. And for P2, again, all loops are touching, hence delta 2 is 1. Whereas for path P3, which is going directly from U of t to X of t, both the loops L1 and L2 are non-touching. So that's why its value comes same as delta. Okay, see here, 1 minus L1 plus L2. Okay, so which is again 1 plus A1 by S plus A2 by S square. The both values coming same. Okay, but it is substituted in different manner. Okay, that's why no problem. So now we'll put it in the formula. So according to Mason's gain formula, the output is X of S and input is U of S, Laplace transform domain. So there are three paths. It is expanded now, P1 delta 1 plus P2 delta 2 plus P3 delta 3 by delta. So substitute the P1 delta 1 values. P1 is beta 1 by S square. Delta 1 is 1. That's why not written. P2 is beta 2 by S into 1 delta 2, not written. Plus P3. P3 value is just B3 and its delta 3 value is 1 plus A1 by S plus A2 by S square. And then determinant value is same this 1 plus A1 by S plus A2 by S square. So now take the LCM in both numerator and denominator and cancel out the common terms. Okay. So here in the denominator. Okay. So S square is your denominator. Okay. So in the numerator, denominator is also S square. Similarly, in the denominator also you have S square is the LCM. Okay. So already beta 1 by S square is there. That's why you'll have only beta 1 here. Here beta 2 by S is there. So one S is missing. That's why S will come over here. S into beta 2 plus here again. So you have the S square. Okay. So S square already there, but you have to multiply this with first. Okay. So this is here comes S square. Okay. Then A1S plus A2 by whole S square. It is. Okay. So that S square and denominator S square is there. That's why beta 3 into this inside term I have grouped in same term. Okay. Instead you can write it in next step, but simply it is wasting time now. Directly I have written this S square is multiplied here. Okay. S square into beta 3, then S A1 into beta 3, and then A2 into beta 3. Okay. So whole divided by S square is there. So both S square we know, that's why it is cancelled out directly, not written at all. So now here 1 is there. That's why S square will come. And here A1 by S is there. So that's why 1 S will come as A1. Here already S square is there. That's why just plus A2. Okay. So this is your transfer function. Finally, we have grouped all the S square terms in the numerator, S terms and constant terms. So only one S square term is there, that is written first, S square beta 3. And there are two S terms are there. One is S beta 2, another is S A1 beta 3. So S is common. So beta 2 plus beta 3 A1 will come. And then two constant terms again, beta 1 and A2 beta 3. So these two written together. So both numerator and denominator is in same form, S square, S and constant term. So this is your final answer for the given system equations. Okay. So whenever we have to construct a block diagram or a signal flow graph, okay. So always at the first attempt, it may not come correctly. So you need to use the pencil. Okay. You have to use the analytics. Okay. So you have to do analysis. Okay. And then finally you have to fit and you have to verify once again, whatever I have constructed the signal flow graph, is it matching the required equations. Okay. So once it is correct, you can proceed with the further steps. Okay. So there it is consuming more time. Here it is consuming less time. Okay. So this is one problem I had. So it is same. Okay. So now we'll go to the third variety of problems, that is constructing the signal flow graph from the block diagram. So you know block diagram, earlier we have studied. So from that, how to construct the signal flow graph and how to reduce the signal flow graph and get the transfer function. Earlier you have seen block diagram and block diagram reduction techniques. Okay. So you know there are 8 different rules we have studied. And from that, every time step by step writing, we have reduced and finally we got the transfer function. Okay. So now if the same block diagram is there, you can convert that into a signal flow graph and you can use the Mason-Gain formula directly instead of every time writing the diagram. So you can directly get the same transfer function you will get. Okay. So only thing is exam, they will ask you reduce this block diagram using signal flow, this one only. Block diagram reduction only. Only then you have to go with that. Okay. If they have not given and if they given block diagram also, you have to go for block diagram reduction only. And if in the signal flow graph also they can give the block diagram, in that case they will tell you use Mason's gain formula. Okay. In that case you have to construct the signal flow graph. For that, these are the 4 steps I have listed out. Using these steps you can construct a signal flow graph easily. Okay. So first thing, what are the first step? In the signal flow graph, there are 4 components are there. Okay, what is that? Block, arrow, summing points, and takeoff points. So in that, so if the block diagram is given to construct the signal flow graph, first you have to name all the summing points and takeoff points in the block diagram. Okay. So what is the name? You can give any name. Okay. So normally if summing point is there, what my suggestion is, you give first summing point as S1, next summing point as S2, S3, like that. How many summing points are there, like that? In between also it can come, and all the takeoff points you can give the names T1, T2, T3, like that. Okay, T1, T2, T3. How many takeoff points are there? That much. So that you are identified the nodes now. Okay, because these nodes only we will be writing as the signal flow graph nodes, and whatever blocks you are having, blocks are nothing but what? Transfer function. No, that we will writing as the branch gain of the signal flow graph. Okay, very simple. Compared to signal system equations, this is very easy. Okay, first thing is naming the summing points and takeoff points. Second thing, represent each summing and takeoff point by a separate node in signal flow graph. Okay, so you have to write now how many summing points and takeoff points are there now, and which order are there now. Same way you have to write the dots now. Okay, so this may be S1, T1, S2, T2, whatever order. How many nodes together? You may be having S1, S2, S3 and T1, T2. Total 5 you have. Okay, 3 summing points and 2 takeoff points are there, means you have to identify the 5 nodes like this, dots. Okay, that is your second step. Then third step, connect them by the branches instead of blocks, indicating block transfer function as the gains of the corresponding branches. So now you know from S1 to next S2. Okay, so just connect this with the arrow. Okay, and whatever block was there no in the block diagram reduction technique, that you write it as arrow and the branch gain, maybe G1, G2, whatever you had. So you write that as the branch gain. If you have a parallel path or feedback path, that also you have to consider that. Okay, so this is your third step. Okay, then finally show the input and output nodes separately of required complete the signal flow graph. Okay, so that means you have constructed all. So finally this comes here output and this comes here input. So you can extend these lines like this. Okay, finally additional 2 nodes you can consider, and this you can say final output C of S and this is R of S. So like that, finally you should give a shape. So once it is done, then you should not directly skip. Okay, jump, because constructing the signal flow graph is very thing. So if you are not constructed properly or a small mistake is done, whatever you do, Mason-Gain formula, so many things you're writing, it will go in waste. It should not go in waste, means what you have to do, you have to verify once again now. Okay, you have to see the block diagram and you have to see your signal flow graph and match, is it matching all the points? Okay, so from here to here, what was transfer? So you have to verify once. Okay, so once it is verified, you can go to the next step. Okay, so these are the 4 steps. So I will take one problem here again and will show you how to apply this and then how to reduce that using Mason-Gain formula. Okay. Okay. So for the block diagram given in figure, obtain overall transfer function using Mason's gain formula. Previously, I have seen this problem maybe. Okay. So it may be same problem using block diagram reduction technique also. But now this is using Mason's gain formula. Okay. So this is the diagram given R of S, C of S. And there are G1, G2, G3, G4 blocks. And there are H1 and H2 and unity feedback. Okay. So like that, they have given the block diagram. So what is our first step? Okay. Identify the summing points, okay, as nodes. Okay. Summing points and takeoff points as nodes and give them a name. So this is my first summing point looking here. So I call it as S1. Okay. Only summing points I will focus first. S1, S2, S3, and this is S4. Okay. So there are 4 summing points are there. Along with takeoff points also you have to name. So where is the takeoff points is here? This is one takeoff point here. Okay, so I call it as T1. It may be upper or lower. You have to consider. Okay, T2, and then finally here T3. Right. So there are 4 summing points and 3 takeoff points are there, and you have identified this with the name. So next step is very simple. Okay, so here you have the R of S. Identify this as R of S node. Then you identify this S1. Then you identify this as S2 here. Then you identify S3. Then you identify T1. Then you identify T2. Then you identify S4. Okay. And then finally T3. And then finally C of S. So these many nodes are there now. So next step, what you have to do? You have to move from R of S to S1. There is no block. Meaning what? So from here to here it is 1. Okay. Just you have to write branch gain and you have to show it as 1. Similarly, from S1 to S2 also nothing is there. So you have to proceed. You have to give the names here first. Once you have identified the nodes, you have to name it. S1. Here just you can R, you can write. Okay. So this is S2. Like that, all the namings you have to do. And then you have to gains. From now S2 to S3, there is a G1, right? So S1 to S2, nothing is there means 1 will write. But S1, S2 to S3, if there is a G1, so it will show like this. Okay. With the arrow mark G1. The blocks will remove and we'll write it as branch gains instead. So this is signal flow graph construction. So like that you have to do complete 1 to 1. Okay. Even the feedback loops also you have to consider. And finally you have to verify once. Okay. So that only I will show you next. Okay. Already written down is there. So that we'll see. So name all the summing points and takeoff points in the block diagram. That is the first step, right? So the same block diagram I have once again copied down and I have given the names here. See. So S1, S2, S3. It is visible, right? S1, S2, S3, S4. Okay. And then where is the takeoff point here? T1, T2, and T3. So then represent each summing point and takeoff point by a separate node. The same procedure I have written down in the first problem. Okay, since it is a first problem, I have written down. No need to do it in exam. Okay, so exam you can no need to explain this. But for your notes, you write it because today you will be learning this method, but you will be preparing for exam another 1 month or 2 months ahead. That time you will forget that. That's why. So you have to write down notes. You have to write down. And connect each node by branches instead of blocks. So whatever blocks are there, you have to connect it by a branch. And above that, you have to show the branch gain. Indicating block transfer function as the gains of the corresponding branches. These H1, G1, G4, G2, G3, H2. You have to show it as a branch gains. Okay, that will show next. So remember this figure now. Okay, and already I told you. So now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 dots are there. So 9 names, and then we'll connect the branches. Okay. So I have written for you here. So you have the figure there. Okay. So R of S2, S1, it is 1. S1 to S2, nothing was there, 1. But S2 to S3, I told you, right? It was G1 was there. Then S3 to T1 also nothing was there, again 1. And then T1 to next T2, G2 was there. Then T2 to S4, G3 was there. And along with their T1 to S4, whatever you have named there, no, in between there is a parallel path, right, with its value G4. It is also written here, okay. And then T3, S4 to T3, nothing was there, it is 1. And then T3 to C of S also considered 1. Okay. So all these things written. Now feedback path. So from where it is going, very simple, no? H1 is going from T2 to S2. So show that path with minus H1. Why it is minus? So this is one interesting. Okay. So earlier also we have studied in block diagram reduction. Okay. So here H1 is there, but here minus sign is there. Okay. In case if it is plus sign is there, you should have written directly plus H1. Okay. So since it is written now minus minus symbol is there. So it will be minus 1 into H1, right? We know that to remove the summing points, how we have to equate it. So that's why it is a minus H1 will come and this is minus H2 will come. Okay. So this is here T2 to S2 H1 minus H1 and then T3 to S3 minus H2 and then T3 to S1 minus sign is there. Here nothing is there, meaning this is 1 and this minus sign minus 1. So minus 1 will come. Okay. In the branch gain. I hope it is clear to you. So since it is a first problem, a little bit late to understand. Okay. So, but once I will send the notes, so you can write down and then you will understand it. Okay. So steps are there and just you have to analyze it. So this is the final signal flow graph you have here. S3 to T3 minus H2 jumper I have shown. T2 to S2 minus H1 and then T3 to S1 minus 1. Okay. So now this is your new signal flow graph for you. Okay, you don't know, right? That's why I told you in the property of signal flow graph. For a signal flow graph is a unique one. Okay, not a unique one because now this signal flow graph don't know how it came, right? Since you know it is came from block diagram. Okay, but you don't know block diagram belongs to which system. It may be mechanical system, it may be pneumatic system or whatever, right? So that's why, so block diagram and the signal programs are just representation of some control system. So control system in real time may be a physical or it may be mechanical, okay, rotational system, it may be electrical system, anything. Even next step type of problems we have where we use the electrical network, we will convert it into signal flow graph. See that interesting problems, okay? So that's what I told you. These are just about representations, okay? So first module, we learned about the models of the control system, right? Mathematical model, differential equation we have written. And from if a mechanical system is there, how we convert that into electrical system we have understood. So now this second module, we focused on representation of control system, okay? We learned the transfer function model and then we learned this block diagram and signal flow graph representation, okay, of the control system. These very basic things to, if we move forward, okay? In control system. Okay, so module 3 actual things starts, analysis and all will start. So before that, these are the basics. Okay, transfer function, how you calculate. So that's what we are learning. Okay, so now identify how many paths are there. Since answer is visible here, so there are 2 paths are there. Okay, so what are that path? One is straight path from R of S to C of S and another path is still here, it is same. Okay, so then it is taking the diversion, right? Here it will take the diversion. So just here skipping G2, G3, it will come G4 as another path. Okay. So these are the 2 paths. So its value only written here. So in this path 1, 1, G1, G2, G3, 1, 1. So that's why G1, G2, G3 is the P1 path gain. Then second path you have 1, 1, G1, then G4, 1, 1. That means G1 into G4. See here, P1 and P2 are nothing but this. Then loops. So I told you already here answer is there 5. So what are the loops? 5 loops are there here. Okay. So that you need to identify here. So what are the loops? 5 loops. So which will start from at one path and it will end at the same node. Okay. So one is this, you can say it will start at S2. So moving in this path at T2 and it will come back, right? So this one path you can straight away identify. Then you have S3. If you consider S3 node as the beginning, so this is another path. okay, till T3, and it is coming back to same S3. Okay, this is 2, and then third path. Okay, so third path is same S3 you consider, going in this forward path G4, coming to T3, and again moving in this same feedback path. So this is also loop, 3 loops. Okay, and then same way, fourth loop, starting from S1, going till T3. Okay, I'm showing like this, T3, and coming in this -1 path and coming over here. So what about the final path? You can tell now. That is the upper forward path, starting from S1, going through G4, coming to T3, and then coming back to same S1. Hope it is understood how to identify the loops. Okay. So the starting point and the end point. Okay. So we'll write down these products, okay, of these loops. Okay. So S3 to this one, G2, G3 minus H2. Like that, we'll write down the answer. Okay. So first loop is minus G1, G2, H1. Okay. Then second loop is minus G2, G3, H2. Then it is upper path, I told you, minus G4, H2. Then it is starting from S1 to T3. So minus G1, G2, G3, -1 path. And then alpha is minus G1, G4. See here. Okay. So all the values are written. So how many non-touching loops are there here? No two non-touching loops, because one loop to other loop, they are touching, right? Because all things are common. So that's why it is there. And even the all the paths are touching one or the other loops here. Okay. So there is no independent loops or two non-touching loops like that. So that's why delta 1 to delta 2. Only two paths you have now. So both are equal to 1. Okay. So now we'll find out the delta from this. So 1 minus L1 plus L2 plus L3 plus L4 plus L5. There is no two non-touching loops. That's why it is not there. So all are having minus sign. So that's why minus of minus, it will come plus. So just you write 1 plus first L1, G1, G2, H1 plus G2, G3, H2 plus G4, H2 plus G1, G2, G3 plus G1, G4. Simple. Okay. So for this, your signal flow graph should be correct, whatever you have written from the block diagram. Okay. So compared to system equation, block diagram is very easy. Okay. So then all the loops are touching all the forward paths. Okay. So that's why delta 1 and delta 2 values are equal to 1. Okay. Then according to Mason's gain formula. So this is the formula. Transfer function is nothing but k equal to 1 to n pk delta k by delta. And we have told that n is equal to 2 here, forward paths. That's why it is expanded p1 delta 1 plus p2 delta 2 by delta. Okay. So we know all the values, p1, p2, delta 1, delta 2, delta, all values we know. Just substitute, you will get the answer. So that's why final answer only written here, C of s by R of s. Transfer function is here, C of s by R of s. Previous case, it was Y of s by U of s was there, right? Whatever was there, the same thing you have to write down for. Then P1 is G1, G2, G3, and delta 1 is 1. That's why not written that. Okay. G1, G2, G3 plus P2 is G1, G4. Delta 2 is 1 again. That's why not mentioned again. Divide by delta. Delta we have calculated. Just we'll put over here. 1 plus G1, G2, H1 plus G2, G3, H2 plus G4, H2 plus G1, G2, G3 plus G1, G4. Okay. So this is the problem. Okay. So if any block diagram is given, you have to go in this manner. You have to name the summing points and takeoff points. Okay. Then you have to identify the nodes, name it, and then all the blocks you replace by the branch gains and show it and complete the signal flow graph. And then apply the Mason gain formula, identify the forward paths, loops, two non-touching loops. Okay. And then you determine the determinant delta, delta 1, delta 2, all these things, and put it in the formula. You'll get the transfer function. Very simple, no? Compared to block diagram reduction. Block diagram reduction, you have to write it every time. Okay. And you have to apply rules parallelly. Okay. That's why it is time consuming and tedious compared to signal flow. So this problem will give you that comparison between the signal flow graph and block diagram reduction. Okay. So now finally we move to the last variety of problems. So first case, you have seen the system equations. Then you have seen the block diagram. Okay. So now we'll see the electrical network. So once the electrical network is given, you need to convert that into a Laplace domain network. You have to write the system equations now. Okay. And then from system equations, you have to construct the individual signal flow graphs. And then you have to club it, as we have done in block diagram reduction also. Okay. So in block diagram reduction also, you have seen electrical network problems, because we are electrical background, right? Electrical and electronics. Okay. Electronics and communication. So we are focusing on everything, whatever control system is there, we will convert that into a electrical, right? Very first module only we learned. Any mechanical system is there, from FE analogy, we can convert that into a electrical network. So that is what our main focus, not this one. Okay. So whatever we have seen so far problem, it is for understanding the Mason-Gain formula. So now we are applying it to our electrical domain. Okay. So for that, this is important for us as a electronic student. Okay. So that is the main concern problem. Okay. From the given electrical network, so how we construct the signal flow graph. Okay. So these are the steps we will follow. Okay. So I told you this control system will be studied by mechanical branch students also, electrical students also, electronic students also. Okay. So which way we want, we will have to bring that problem till there. Okay. So maybe the students of mechanical, they may be not learning this part. They will be learning the block diagram or signal flow graph, and Mason-Gain formula they will apply and they will learn. So they are not bothered about electrical network, right? They are not bothered about much about that. But we are focusing on electrical. So that's why we have to consider this also. Okay. So that's how the question paper will differ from one to one. Otherwise, it is the same content they are learning. Okay. Concepts. Okay. So when it comes to electrical, no, they will be learning about motor. Okay. So that it's motors equivalent. They will be writing and doing it. Okay. Fine. So first step, find out the Laplace transform of the given network and redraw the network in S domain. So whatever electrical domain network is there, you have to convert Laplace. So this Laplace transform we have learned in network theory. Okay. How to convert a given network into Laplace transform. R is there R, L is there, S into L you have to write. Capacitor is there C, you have to write it as 1 by S, right? And then V of T is there V of S, I of T is there I of S. Okay. So that is the thing. Then second thing, write down the equations for the different branch currents and node voltages. So even this we have seen in block diagram reduction. Okay, the same thing applies here. So the node voltages, branch currents. Okay, all these things you have to write the equations, individual equations. Okay, and then simulate each equation by drawing corresponding signal flow graph. So this is where the steps changes from block diagram reduction to signal flow graph. In block diagram reduction, what we'll do? So we'll write the output and we'll construct the block. Okay, block will write the value, right? What is there from this node voltage to this branch current. Okay. Instead, now what we'll show that as nodes, and intermediate will show branch gains. Okay. Finally, combine all signal flow graphs to get the total signal flow graph for the given network. Here we are drawing individual, right? Corresponding to single system equation. And finally, we are clubbing it, okay, to make it. Finally, you have to use the Mason's gain formula to derive the transfer function of the given network. Okay, so these are the 5 steps we'll be using to do the electrical network. Okay, so there is no much time, so we'll consider it in the next class only. Okay, so this is how the problem looks. So simple RLC network they will give, and it will tell you to find the transfer function using Mason-Gain formula. Okay, so there are 2 problems I will consider here, so that we'll see it in next class. Okay.